yes, we're talking about sex and different ways of having sex. And you were mentioning something really beautiful earlier. Can you expand on that?
Yeah, so I think what we were talking about earlier was the difference of, being in sexuality to fulfill your needs, to have orgasms, and if that is kind of like the main agenda or focus in sexuality, as opposed to a sexuality where the connection or connecting also from a heart space is more the focus as opposed to satisfaction and having orgasms. So what I've come to realize is if I'm in a sexual encounter where it's really just about being satisfied, having orgasms, and like very satisfaction oriented, that obviously it's lovely to have orgasms, right? Everyone enjoys having orgasms, but then after the sex, I tend to feel empty, right? There's just like this feeling of void and emptiness. As opposed to, if I have sex and it's really more, the connection to each other is more the focus as opposed to fulfilling your needs and having orgasms. And the connection is also very, heart-based or coming from a heart space. Then after sex, I feel just so much more nourished and fulfilled, and like my whole energy system just tends to light up, and but just this beautiful energy that stays with me for half a day, maybe even longer. That's the main difference that I've come to experience.
So if it's and it can be both. It's not just this or that. It can be both. It's going to still have the orgasms and all of that, but it's also, when I study correctly, it comes from a place of there's a heart connection and there's a lot of sensuality before we actually make love, and it's a much bigger container than just having sex and orgasms, and you feel more fulfilled afterwards.
Yes, exactly. The orgasms still happen in that space, but they tend to be much more deep and intense than if it's this, because then my whole being is being it's not just my physical body that is interacting with this other being, but it's my heart level, it's my body as well, it's the energetic levels. It's just like all of my beings are being addressed instead of just my physical body, and so the orgasm that comes is so much deeper and so much more profound than if it's just addressing my physical body and it's just about this pure satisfaction. That is the difference that I've come to realize.
I love, keeping things quite practical and to the point. So how would that look like, the difference? I can get the one where it's just orgasms, so it's friction-based, grab each other, friction-based, get to the destination. So I understand that picture. I can explain that one, but can you explain the other picture of how it would look like to have the interaction, how it would look like to get to that other scenario?
Yes. Well, for one, I think the connection is the key, right? So putting the connection that you have to the other person kind of in the center, right? Or also opening up your energetic body to connect to this other energetic body, right? And then of course also your heart. So not just keeping the energy down where your genitals are, like really with your focus and your attention, also bringing the energy up to your heart, because where your focus goes, the energy flows, right? So you can really direct the energy to your heart, for example, by bringing your focus to your heart, and then also, having a heart connection instead of just a genital connection energetically. So these are kind of the main differences that that distinguish for me this pure satisfaction, physical approach to sexuality, as opposed to this other approach where all of my, my energetic body, my heart, my physical body, possibly even spiritual body, like all of these, everything is included instead of just my physical body.
Sure. And there's eye contact, making eye contact, all of that.
Yes,
also,
of course. I mean, eye contact is important. Every now and then, not all the time, like not the whole time, but yes, the eye contact I find every now and then to just also create connection to my partner is very beneficial for the connection. I think it's also willingness to really connect to the other person, right? To have an openness within yourself, or also within your heart, to want to connect on this level with the other person.
Yeah, like it's as you say, not just two bodies having sex, but two souls having sex.
Yes.
Once you look in the eyes and you see the soul there, you're also making love, and the two souls are engaging.
I like that. Two souls having sex, two hearts having sex, two bodies having sex. Like, it's not just your physical body, but it's these other aspects of your being as well.
Sure. And that's, I suppose, why you feel so much more full and complete afterwards, because it wasn't just this body, it was this whole soul engagement, the whole experience, making love in different dimensions and different, it's just this beautiful, beautiful journey.
Yeah.